So I'll just come right back real quick. Another thing that I was, because everything that is going on is about all, human beings waking up to their own consciousness, to who and what they are. And there's been so much repression that, I mean, people don't even understand at all who or what they are. They're so cut off from it, and they're so focused on this three-dimensional experience, they can't see past it. And this is all about this awakening to help people be able to do it, to see past the illusion, especially when you start realizing that the illusion is so manufactured. But yesterday, and I talk about the dog thing all the time, because there is something, the dogs, to me, you see that they have consciousness. Like you can spend time with the dog and you can interact with another soul in this other body. Like you can feel it. You're interacting with a real soul. You can have all these different dogs and you can see they're all completely unique. They're all different. Like certain breeds of certain types, yeah, they'll have similarities, but they have very distinct, like you can look in their eyes. So they all, you can really witness, their souls and this ability to interact and have understanding with a soul in another reality of a whole nother existence, as another species. And I think it's trippy because I think you can do it with spider. I think you can do it with a lot of things if you start paying attention. And so the dog was laying there and my daughter and I were talking about it. And I said, if you really think about it, dogs are probably so super intelligent, way beyond what we can even comprehend. Oh, I think we were talking about how much they understand with the talking and the words and stuff you say and how amazing it is. And I said, that they are probably just so smart, because look at how they were able to see how to survive. Get with this family, you're going to get fed, taken care of, and, shelter. All you got to do is just be really nice, watch out for them, love them, and, you're taken care of. How many dogs have that life? A lot of them are treated like kings and queens. I know Stella definitely is. There's not very many people that come around that don't say she's spoiled rotten, but that there is, like they play a part in that. They were able to come into our homes. Like we domesticated them, but they were able to be domesticated. Because think about how many other animals people have tried to domesticate. I mean, I've seen people with everything. Oh my gosh, squirrels, bears, lions, tigers. Every single animal, somebody is trying to domesticate it and trying to build relationships. And, some do it for all different reasons. I mean, when you get up to some of these more, these people who want to have a lion in their house or a tiger, and, I swear it just starts getting into like, I don't know. I can't wrap my head around it. Like, why? I kind of feel like that they need to be free. I kind of feel like, there's a point where we're enslaving dogs. I mean, especially some people that have no respect for their animal and they don't even look at it as a soul, or, there's people who, I'm not really sure why they have a dog. They kick them, they hit them, they yell at them, they scream at them, and they're always disappointed with them, and it's really quite sad. But to me, we enslave them in a sense. And so, yeah, I don't understand these people who even go out and get more stuff. Like, and what are you trying to prove? To me, I do like to have a dog. I've always liked dogs. I like that there is a companionship with a dog. And I appreciate that companionship. And I also feel that, there has to be balance. Your dog is, but you can't say that, because then somebody can be like, well, my dog's a piece of shit, just pisses and shits everywhere and barks and everything, and I hate that dog, you know. But, you know, when you start really understanding more about dogs and knowing about like that behavior is anxiety. You're creating that. You're creating so much anxiety that your dog is misbehaving. And that's the part where we got to take responsibility. You know, you can't blame it on somebody else. Well, they're doing it wrong. I should be able, you know. No, you got to take responsibility. If you're mistreating your dog and it has anxiety, it's going to be bad behavior for sure. And then you have to figure it out. You know, either let that dog go, live with somebody that doesn't give him anxiety, or figure out what you're doing and how to communicate better with your animal. But, you know, that's the shift that we need to have in our own selves, in our own responsibility, our own connection to nature and other beings and other souls and stuff. You have a responsibility if you have, you know, you've brought this soul into your life. But I mean, right now we're in a society that doesn't even know how to take responsibility for the children they bring into this world. They want to bring children into this world to make themselves feel better, but then they're at a loss of what to do with them when they have their own identities. And I mean, we've got such a problem with child abuse and child neglect, but we've got all of these shallow, self-involved, narcissistic, gender confused, self-righteous, justice war. I mean, the stuff is all just, it's kind of like any of these things, you can just look at them and go, well, we want the exact opposite of that, and just do the opposite. That's what it seems like to me. Makes the most sense. Like, all of these things are not how we would want to have our society be. So we need to do the opposite. And, oh, and another thing too, yesterday, I was watching something, and it was talking about before, if I could think of what it was I was watching, if it was a man or a woman, it was before they could get married and have kids, they had to prove themselves. And this was not, you know, I talk about this with the Indians all the time, but this was a different group, a different culture. But you weren't allowed to go in and, you know, start a family until you had built yourself. And that right there, I mean, that is like where we have to look at tradition, and we have to say those traditions work. We should have never let those traditions go. Those traditions of us growing before we're bringing other human beings in the world. Because nothing out there is going to fix us or make us feel better. Having a little baby is not going to fix us or make us feel better. Getting the right guy is not going to fix us or make us feel better. All that stuff comes from within us. We are the ones who have to fix us to make us feel better. If we are suffering and we are having a hard time, it's because we feel that about ourselves, and we've got ourselves in a low vibration where we've got all of that just coming at us all the time. In order to break free from that system, you have to learn how to love yourself and appreciate yourself, and you know, it starts raising you up into you have better things coming towards you because you are in a higher vibration. Stella really wants in. But I think you get what I'm saying. I talk about this a lot. If you want to hear more about it, I talk about it a lot. So this is just kind of to reiterate those kinds of things, because I feel like that's where people are just going to be so confused of how do you even start to build yourself back up. How do you know, it's going to be starting at the beginning. So I'll talk about it later. I better go let in Stella. Talk to you later. Bye.